Tonight, a man-sized blast from the past. Renault puts a V6 rocket in your pocket. And which takes longer to change, a gearbox or a woman's outfit? Hello. Now, the show tonight is mostly about blokishness. You know, the sort of thing. We won't ask directions. We won't read instruction manuals. We have a sound recordist, OK? Rolled up on a chute the other day, front of his car all stoved in. Said he'd been on the M6 in a queue of slow-moving traffic and he was a bit bored. So he wondered, would it be possible to drive with your legs crossed? Now, no woman would ever do that. And it's much the same story with understeer and oversteer. I've never had a letter from a girl saying, what's the difference? But we've had loads of letters from blokes asking. So, over now to Richard Hammond in the Science Corner.
Thank you, Jeremy. Now, this is really quite simple, OK. Understeer works like this. You drive down the road, you turn the wheel, but the car goes straight on, crashes into a tree, and you die. Oversteer works like this. You drive down the same bit of road, turn the wheel, but the back of the car comes round like this, and you go off the road, crash into a tree, and you die. Now, oversteer is best because you don't see the tree that kills you.
I understand that. Now, as a general rule, front-wheel drive cars understeer and rear-wheel drive cars oversteer. But there's always been one car where you never knew what it was going to do. The Porsche 911. See, unlike a Ferrari, the engine is not in the middle, it's right here in the back. That upsets the balance. It's like a horse, or as Porsche would call it, a horser pushing a cart. You know why it was called a 911, don't you? So the Americans would know what to dial when they crashed. And they would crash. It's a very scary car. And the scariest model of them all is the Turbo. A woman would have moved the engine, but because Porsche's run by men, they've spent the last 40 years stubbornly trying to engineer their way around the problem. To be honest, they've cracked it. The modern-day Turbo, like this one, has four-wheel drive and perhaps the most sorted chassis of any road car. And because the engine is still at the back, pressing down like a big heavy lump on the rear wheels, you get tons and tons of grip and tons of traction. I said a couple of years ago that a 911 Turbo is better than a Ferrari 355, and I'll stand by that. It's wonderful. Amazing car now, completely sorted. What?
That's not the end.
Yes, we've seen enough. We've seen enough.
I'm absolutely confident that's... Who would like to see what happens next in that film? Yes. Roll it. So, you spun it then?
I spun it slightly.
What do you mean, slightly? How can you slightly spin? That's like saying I slightly fell off a ladder this morning.
The problem is that when you're driving a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, they constantly say to you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to stick a knife in your heart, I'm going to turn it round. Whereas the 911, OK, the Turbo, it's saying, it's OK. It lulls you into this false sense of security. You think it's an ordinary car. It's like a circus lion. That's the best way to look at it. You go, oh, look at that, it's jumping through hoops. Isn't it docile? It's still a lion. It's still a 420 horsepower supercar. You have got to be a superhuman driver to get the best out of one of these. And I'm not one. And neither are you. But luckily, I know a man who is. So, off the line, and even with massive attraction, the Porsche spins its wheels. It really is wet out there. Will the Hammerhead defeat the Porsche's huge grip? Yes, he's a bit sideways. In the dry, this car will be in a chance of beating the mighty Zonda, but the rain's doing it no favours at all. Ooh, squirming under braking there. Now, through the first sector, he's already a massive 5 seconds down on the Zonda's time. He'll struggle to make that up in the second half. Into the follow-through, just a dab of brakes. Now he's coming down to the penultimate rain. The Zonda lapped in 1:23 in the last series. The Porsche will never match that in this weather. How close can he get to Gambon and across the line in 1 minute 31 dead. So where does that go? Let's have a look. 31 is there, above the M3. Now if you take 4 seconds off, which is basically what happens if you want to go in a dry time, that's 1:27. That's faster than the Murcielago.
Yeah.
That is a great car, if you know what you're doing. And now, there's a version for those who don't. This is the Diet 911 Turbo, the one-cow, low-fat version they call the C4S. It looks pretty much the same as a turbo with the flared wheel arches and the spoilers. And it has exactly the same grippy chassis, the same four-wheel drive system, the same brakes and the same sports suspension. It even has the same flat-six 3.6-litre engine as the turbo, except there's no turbo. This, then, is an ordinary 911, a plain and simple Carrera 4 in a He-Man suit. You know what this is, don't you? It's the Porsche Neo-Georgian house. All the looks, but without the 18th century killer plumbing. And that's fine, if you like that sort of thing. It's interesting, the engine sounds at its best when you're going 14 miles an hour. Town speed. Posing speeds, when people are looking. As soon as you get out in the countryside, build up a bit of speed, it all settles down again. By losing the turbo, the brake horsepower figure falls from 420 to 320. 320 is still a lot, though. So it's still a fast car. 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds. A top speed of 174. It's not scary fast, though. It's not like going to the pub with a murderer. You're not thinking, this is fun, but soon I will be dead. There's another advantage, too. The turbo costs $88,000, and this is $63,000. That's a saving of £25,000. But I don't know. I mean, yes, it's a wonderful car, be in no doubt, and it's a Porsche, so you can do 100,000 miles in it and it'll never go wrong. Use it in the snow and the wind and the drizzle. I do respect its abilities, but you can have all those abilities in a Carrera 4 for £60,000. Why pay more for a fake? Now, I appreciate a lot of that is quite difficult to follow. The 911 range is one of the world's great unfathomable. So let me try and explain it to you in basic English. This is Sharon, OK? She's all woman. She is the 911 Turbo. Now, standing next to her is Vicky. Now, Vicky, on the surface, appears to be exactly the same, but this is a body kit. Vicky's been enhanced, and so consequently is the C4S. Now, moving along, we find Amanda. Amanda is the Carrera 4. Enough of a handful for most people. Your choice.
You know, I've always been a bit of a turbo man myself. Earlier on in the series, we launched a search for Britain's biggest car bore, and we received literally quite a few letters, some of which were very good. But one of them was simply outstanding. This is Robert Lim. This is his Sierra on his drive, and this is his house. All pretty standard stuff. Then there's a living room in here, kitchen, usual sort of stuff, cupboards, bread bin. That's odd. Microwave, car, as As you do.